No, you got to go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
I'm not gonna lie, after we found out why Beyonce made a lot of the songs that she did and for what reasons, I'm not shocked one bit to find out that Jay-Z is allegedly listed in the Epstein file.
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about...
Something about this just doesn't sit right anymore. You ever notice how when certain names come up like Jay-Z or Beyonce, there's this instant wall of silence? Like everyone collectively agrees not to look too close, but then someone like 50 Cent comes along and cracks that silence wide open. Suddenly, the questions you weren't supposed to ask start spilling out. Why is Jay-Z's name allegedly listed in the Epstein files? Why did major media outlets delete or bury that story like it never happened? And what does Beyoncé know that we don't? Because the deeper you look, the harder it gets to pretend this is just gossip. The patterns, the witnesses, the cover-ups, they all start adding up to something we were never supposed to see. So if you're here for the truth they've been trying to erase, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay locked in. Because this isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. We were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me.
Now let's break this down. 50 Cent, never one to bite his tongue, took to social media and dropped a bombshell. Damn, they got your man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this ish. That was the post that set the whole thing ablaze. And allegedly, it was Beyonce's team that moved first. Behind the scenes, lawyers were scrambling, not just to contain 50, but to keep the media silent. And it worked for a moment. TMZ, The Shade Room, Complex, Billboard, People, US Weekly, every major outlet passed on the Epstein story. Even the post from The Shade Room mysteriously disappeared. According to insiders, that wasn't by chance. That was money moving. But what Beyoncé didn't count on was that 50 Cent thrives on beef. If you tell him to stop, he doubles down. And he did posting cryptic AI clips, adding captions like, "I smell beef and popcorn," and making it clear that he wasn't backing off. In fact, this might have energized him. Because if there's one thing 50's proven, it's that he'll go places other celebrities won't. Just ask Diddy. And if he's serious about this documentary, Jay-Z and Beyoncé might finally be forced to answer for things they've buried for decades. Now, here's where it gets even darker. Because for years, there have been whispers about Beyoncé not just about industry sabotage or mean girl politics, but about rituals, witchcraft, and black magic. At first, it sounded like tabloid noise.
This has been going on since 2006, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And for a very long time, I put this person on a pedestal. I loved them. I'd send emails, publicly, happy birthday and all this stuff. And the entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships. just all kinds of.
But then real people who worked with her for years, started coming forward. In 2018, Beyoncé's former drummer Kimberly Thompson filed a restraining order claiming Beyoncé practiced extreme witchcraft, controlled her life with spells, manipulated her relationships, and sabotaged her career. This wasn't a fan theory, this was legal documentation, and while the mainstream media brushed it off, Thompson never backed down. Then came the dancers. Ashley Everett, Beyoncé's longtime dance captain, was caught liking posts that called Beyoncé demonic and suggested her music was spiritually manipulative. Another dancer, Kadia Cherie, went further accusing Beyoncé of targeting her child with violence and calling her a witch publicly on social media. And though Kadia's post disappeared, Tasha K got the receipts and aired everything. Now here's the part most people missed. Kadia wasn't some random background extra. She worked on Formation, the Super Bowl performance, major live visuals. She was inside.
Beyoncé is being accused again of doing black magic. Now here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witchery. Okay? This is an ex-dancer of hers, and now we remember the ex-drummer that came out and we call her crazy too. We got the interview of the drummer. Y'all remember her? And she was saying that Beyoncé was using witchcraft and all that stuff, and it always comes out around the time when she getting ready to cipher for a new album. I know Beyonce's a witch. I saw the Lemonade visuals. I saw it. I said, this is dark.
And if she's to be believed, then Beyoncé's image is far from what the public sees. But these weren't isolated rants. They were stacking up, and now, in light of the Epstein fallout, they're being re-examined with new urgency. Then, there's Larry Johnson, the former NFL player who casually dropped one of the most disturbing anecdotes yet. According to Johnson, he attended a Roca-Wear party in Colorado back in the mid-2000s. Jay-Z and Beyoncé were hosting. It was supposed to be an industry event, all adults, all business. But late at night, after the drinks started flowing and the music turned up, children began showing up. Johnson said he didn't know where they came from. He was confused, even disturbed. At one point, he sat down next to one of the kids only to hear Beyoncé allegedly say, "Doesn't this look sexy?" Johnson admits he wasn't as awake then as he is now, but the moment stuck with him. And now, looking back, it haunts him. He said he had to leave. He couldn't understand why children were being brought into an adult party after 11 p.m. with alcohol, loud music, and grown folks dancing wild. Where were they from? Why were they there? And why was no one else disturbed? If that doesn't raise red flags, nothing will. But it doesn't stop there, because rumors have long swirled about Beyoncé's involvement in spiritual practices beyond the surface. Some say she's part of a deeper circle, one that aligns with rituals, energy control, even darker things. And now, the internet is asking if these whispers are finally catching up to her. Because if the Epstein claims are even half true, and Jay-Z really was spotted inside Epstein's mansion alongside Harvey Weinstein, then we're looking at a scandal that spans decades, power pyramids, and silent compliance.
You know what I'm saying? They could control Shaq. They could control Charles Barkley. They could control LeBron James. They could control Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
According to the witness who placed Jay-Z in the room, she woke up inside Epstein's home and remembers Jay-Z and Harvey there. That alone, if proven true, would be enough to destroy an empire. But it's not just the scandal, it's the reaction. Beyoncé allegedly moved to silence 50 Cent, not refute the claims. And that silence is making fans ask hard questions. Why silence instead of denial? Why legal threats instead of transparency? And now, 50's not letting go. If anything, he's just getting started. Because this isn't just shade, this is legacy war. And the Carters are fighting it on multiple fronts. Behind the music, behind the wealth, behind the filtered perfection, lies something much colder. The rumor is that Jay and Beyoncé have dirt on each other so deep that divorce is off the table, not out of love, but mutual protection. And if 50's documentary ever sees the light of day, that protection might finally crack. Because 50 isn't just talking about Epstein, He's talking about cover-ups, manipulation, secrets, and who's really in charge. Some fans even believe Beyoncé might be complicit not just covering for Jay, but involved in her own right. The sacrifices, the rituals, the calculated control of the media. Former insiders have said Beyoncé is more powerful behind the scenes than we realize. Some even call her the puppet master. But what if she's not? What if, as Kanye once warned, she and Jay are just pawns in a bigger game? Kanye said, "They can control Jay-Z and Beyoncé, but they can't control me." He also said Hollywood is a machine that uses trauma to monetize and dominate. People go missing. Secrets get buried. Careers get managed by what someone did in their past, and who has the proof? If that's the case, then 50's new documentary isn't just a threat to the Carters. It's a threat to the entire power structure behind them. So now, the question isn't just about guilt, it's about leverage. Who holds the secrets? Who's protecting who? And how far will they go to keep the illusion alive? Jay-Z's reputation has already taken hits over the years, from infidelity rumors, industry blackballing, to his ties with controversial billionaires. But the Epstein link changes everything. This isn't tabloid drama anymore, this is criminal proximity. And the media's silence? That's the loudest confirmation yet that something's being suppressed. So now we wait. Will 50 Cent really make the documentary? Will more names from the Epstein files get leaked? And most importantly, will the public finally see through the myth of perfection that's shielded the Carters for decades? Because there's only so much smoke you can hide behind before people start looking for fire. And from where we're standing, the flames are already flickering. So let me ask you, do you believe Beyoncé is just trying to protect her husband's legacy? Or has she been complicit all along? Is 50 Cent bluffing about his expose? Or is this just the beginning of something massive? Drop your thoughts in the comments, stay curious, and buckle up because this story's just getting started.